Well, welcome back. It has been a stressful 7 days here in the garden. Uh, so last Saturday I decided, this is Memorial Day weekend by the way, last Saturday I decided that I would put out all my plants that weekend. And Saturday I got most of the tomato plants done. I got all the peppers out except for the cayennes, which are a couple weeks behind. I got all that done. Then Sunday morning I finished up the last few tomato plants. It was getting pretty hot Sunday, and it got up to 92, I believe, which is pretty darn scorching for not even Memorial Day yet. My pepper plants were starting to show a little wear and tear, a little unhappiness at the heat. So I went down to Lowe's and I grabbed a really large canvas painter's tarp, or painter's drop cloth that I had thrown over the structure that provided some shade for about half a day or so. Then when the sun got off to the west a little bit, it started coming back on the peppers. But at least it got some shade for a good share of the day. They looked really, really sad by the end of the day. So I checked them Monday morning, and there definitely was stress. And Monday is when the rain started. We had some rain and storms Monday, Tuesday, and partially on Wednesday as well. And that was a bit stressful because there was a lot of wind and a lot of water, and a lot of the water got into the system through the buckets. Even though I have these styrofoam covers on these, there's still holes where the plants come through, and that sort of filled up the reservoir a little bit. Didn't overflow it, but it did dilute the nutrients quite a bit. The wind also broke some of the smaller plants that hadn't really gotten a good start on the lower limbs or branches that had come out, and those got busted off. The vine clamps and the wind sort of tore those off of there. The rain also exposed another issue that I have, and that is this dirt around the reservoir. The rain splashed all up onto the top of the reservoir, and some got into the res, which I don't like one bit. Here's some videos showing that. You can see here on the side of the reservoir all the dirt splashing up. Just basically just too much dirt in this area. So I think what I'm going to do today is maybe pick up some cement blocks and just put some around this area so the dirt doesn't splash up quite as much. Because this is just you know, that is not good. Let's see what it looks like inside here. Well, it doesn't look horrible, but it doesn't look good either. So I did have a chance to get some cement block to line the hole for the reservoir. Hopefully keep it a little bit cleaner. Some of that dirt out of there. It's still going to get some dirt on it. I don't think I'm going to be able to stop that, but this should help quite a bit. And I did get my, you can't hardly see him back here, but I got my second barrel out, and it's not hooked up yet, but this other one's got to get full with the filtered water first before I even worry about the second one. So yeah, it's coming together pretty well too. So I had a day of no worries, which was nice, and then came the frost warnings Thursday night. So about 8 o'clock last night I checked the weather, and they mentioned that there was a frost advisory. So this is what I ended up with in my garden in my haste to cover things up to make sure I didn't lose my whole thing. It looks like everything is protected pretty well, but yeah, that was not pretty. A little more preparation next time might be in order. I need to think about that sort of thing. And then again Friday night. So thinking we might have a repeat of last night, I stopped at Lowe's today and picked up some plastic sheeting. And yes, the forecast calls for frost again tonight. So, instead of the hodgepodge I had yesterday, I built myself a couple of greenhouses over top my hydro structures. This is the joys of planting early. So it looks pretty good. I think they'll survive. They're just 10 by 20 1 mil plastic drop cloths, just draped over the structure, and hopefully it'll keep the frost out. We will know for sure tomorrow morning. And by the way, folding those 4 10 by 20 foot plastic sheets, lots of fun. Lots of fun. Drying them out and folding them up, good stuff. So overall, a very stressful week, from high temperatures to storms to frost. The garden fared pretty darn well. Some things that I need to figure out. I need to figure out how to protect the smaller plants from wind damage with the vine clips. I can't have that. That's just no good. I need to find a way to keep more water, more rainwater out of the buckets so that it doesn't get back into the reservoir. I mean, it's pretty good now, but I'd like to get it better. I'm thinking perhaps some panda plastic or panda film that Mean Shoes and MHB Gardener have talked about in the past. Cutting little squares of that might help a little bit, figuring out a way to do that. And I also need to find a way to cover these plants easier in case of frost. The plastic sheets work pretty well, but still kind of a hassle to get the sheets over the top of the structure. And then of course the drying and folding up or rolling up, however you take care of it, because I don't want to have to buy new plastic every time. And a few lessons that I learned in the last week. The big one is listen to your friends at work. They're not as crazy as you think. They all said don't plant before Memorial Day weekend. Make Memorial Day weekend the weekend you put all your stuff out. And I thought, pish posh, crazy talk, you guys. The weather's been wonderful. It's certainly not going to frost or be nasty. I was wrong. And the other thing is to get that seedling, the lamp on the seedlings right away. Don't wait till they get a half day's growth on you, because by then it's too late. Those suckers are already way too tall and they're just going to keep on that track as time goes on. That's why I ended up with the big plants and outgrowing my flood table, and why I wanted to get them out early, just to get them out of that table because they kept falling over. So yeah, would have saved a lot of a headache. So that's this week's video. Lots of stress, but you know, I don't know. Can you see these guys? Nice tomato here, nice tomato down over here. Some flowers up there, looking good. Those are my Paul Robesons that I cloned. They are definitely awesome. The rest of them doing well as well. Anyway, enough babbling on. We'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.